So one of the most popular fragrances currently is Bulgari Tiger. Despite the fact that this fragrance actually came out many years ago, it's composed by Jacques Cavalier, and this one is inspired by tiger's eye, which is a stone, and it contains a very simple note breakdown. There's grapefruit, ambroxan, and woodsy notes. There's a lot of fragrances out there that are kind of inspired by Bulgari Tiger. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about 10 fragrances that I think you should check out if you're a fan of this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin today's episode and I tell you about these 10 fragrances that I think you should check out if you're a fan of Bulgari Tiger, I'll also let you know how close these fragrances come to Bulgari Tiger. Some of them are clones, some not so much. Some of them do tend to go in their own special direction, if you will. But before I begin the video, I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload these daily videos to YouTube. And of course, please give this video a thumbs up as it would greatly assist with the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So this is such an amazing fragrance for the summertime. The bright, sort of tenacious grapefruit in the opening, very lively, and then you have the ambroxan. It's very smooth, very clean, very elegant as well. It just has that summertime appeal that is very difficult to resist. So we're actually going to start things off with the number 10 spot, and it's a fragrance that I don't have in my collection. I know, I'm surprised I don't. It's by Afnan and it's called Turathi. Now, Turathi is basically a clone of Bulgari Tiger. I don't have a bottle for it. I'm planning on ordering one very soon because I see it's been getting a lot of attention online lately and I would like to eventually review it, but I've sampled it before and it comes very, very close. It's practically a clone of Bulgari Tiger. Afnan makes a lot of clones. I'm sure you already know that, but Afnan Turathi is, of course, a solid alternative to Bulgari Tiger if you're looking for something that's more on the inexpensive side of things and you're also interested in something that smells very close to the original. Now, of course, the Dua brand has a lot of fragrances that have Bulgari Tiger in them. Of course, they have a lot of hybrids and tribrids and quadbrids and whatever. Now, the one that I'm holding is Poseidon's Tiger Cologne, which basically combines Bulgari Tiger with Creed's Aventus colognes, or their inspirations of those fragrances. Now, I believe their clone of Bulgari Tiger is called Enter the Tiger. So if you're interested in something that smells very similar to Bulgari Tiger and also has amazing longevity, check out Dua's version. Of course, we have 21 Conduit Street by Jovan. This fragrance has almond and an amaretto accord, but it also has that bright tiger-like opening. So it has that grapefruit in there. It's very bright, very effervescent. As soon as you smell it, you're gonna be like, wait a second, this actually reminds me of Bulgari Tiger, right? It does have that similar opening with the freshness and that tart grapefruit, but it actually does sort of evolve into something a little bit more on the sweeter side of things, whereas in Bulgari Tiger, it's not sweet at all. We also have Overdose by Oman Luxury. Now, the thing with Overdose is it actually has more of an orange vibe than it does a grapefruit vibe. And it's also quite spicy. So it's like saffron and cardamom, and it does smell very spicy, very exotic. This one is actually quite different from Bulgari Tiger. It's probably the most different fragrance on this entire list, except for one other one. But I think it can be worn in the same occasions, in the same situations. So that's the reason why I mentioned it in this list. If you're a fan of Tiger, you want something that smells a bit different, check it out. We also have The Key by Navitus Parfum. So this fragrance has more citrus, right? So instead of just a grapefruit opening, The Key has a bunch of different things, the bergamot and the lime and the grapefruit and all of these other notes. So it actually has a much brighter, much more citrusy opening. So I would definitely recommend that you check out The Key if you're looking for more citrus. Of course, by Haramain, we have Junoon Oud. This fragrance is very close to Bulgari Tiger. It's practically a clone. So if you're looking for something that is incredibly close, really good budget, good bang for your buck, decent size, really wonderful presentation, I would definitely check this fragrance out. Of course, we also have one that smells quite different from Bulgari Tiger. Still has that grapefruit-like opening, but it settles down into more of like a suede leather base with cashmeran and musk. This one by Ormond Jane is called Montabaco Verano. So, of course, a little bit of a tobacco accord in there as well. It gets a little woodsy, but it has that sort of cashmere wood suede leather dry down that I think is very, very nice. Now, if you're a fan of complexity, because I think there is simplicity in Bulgari Tiger, complexity can be found in Burlington 1819 by Roja Parfum. So this fragrance, it's woodsy, it's earthy, it's a little floral, but it still has a balsamic richness in the dry down. And yes, it does have that grapefruit, bright tiger-like opening. So this one is arguably the most complex fragrance from all of the ones on the desk here in front of me. Here's one that smells quite different, coming in the number 2 spot. This one by Fleur is called Tangerine Boy. Now this fragrance, admittedly so, is actually closer to Xerjoff's Neo, in my opinion. It kind of has like this Atelier Cologne vibe where it's very bright and very citrusy and really nice, very easy to wear, easy to get along with. But I think it could be worn in the same scenarios as Bulgari Tiger. As a matter of fact, like I said, smells quite different, but I do think that it's appropriate for the same scenarios. It has more of like a zesty orangey vibe, but I love how realistic the citrus smells in it, right? Very natural, very organic, very realistic. And Tangerine Boy is an amazing fragrance for the summertime. I think Fleur has been putting out a lot of wonderful fragrances recently, Missing Person being another one. Now, with that being said, let's go to the number 1 spot, and I saved this for the number 1 spot for a few different reasons. One, the price is decent compared to Bulgari Tiger. This is close to $300. This one is going to save you a sizable amount of money. That's number 1. Number 2, the performance is incredible. Every single fragrance from this brand is absolutely incredible in terms of the performance. The presentation is very luxurious, very high-end, very upper class, and I do think that it's the closest that I've personally tried to Bulgari Tiger. A few honorable mentions by Louis Vuitton are Afternoon Swim and L'Immensite. They both have their own thing going on in there. I don't think either one of them is a clone or a twist of Bulgari Tiger. I just think they kind of have their own sort of special DNA, but they have gotten compared to Bulgari Tiger, which is why I wanted to mention them. But the fragrance in the number 1 spot by Spirit of Kings is called Arrakis. So this one has the crystal on the top, the gold presentation, the name is on the back, and it just has a very opulent design. The atomizer as well. Very nice distribution, not pressurized, but it smells exactly like Bulgari Tiger. I mean, if you want to try to come as close as possible, elegant presentation, I'm going to leave a link down below to where you can sample it if you're interested in at least getting 10 milliliters so you can familiarize yourself with the DNA. And it's so strong, it's so long lasting, and I feel like the base notes have been amped up a little bit. I've done a video on it. If you're interested, please check it out. This video itself is not sponsored in any way. These are just 10 fragrances, including Tarathi by Afnan, that I don't have a bottle of, but I will acquire it soon. So I hope you took something of value from this video. 10 fragrances that you should check out if you are a fan of Bulgari Tiger, if you want to explore this DNA heading in a few different directions. I hope you took something of value from this video. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.